first time Vivienne Vale told me to take off my dress. We were locked inside Rosebridge Hall during a thunderstorm. My scholarship portfolio was bleeding pink paint across the floor, and I was still pretending I did not know why the coldest woman on campus had memorized my name. But that happened at midnight. At 9 that morning, I was simply the transfer student who had chosen the wrong door. Rosebridge University looked less like a university and more like the place a fairy tale villain would inherit after eliminating 3 older sisters. Black stone towers rose above gardens trimmed into impossible shapes. Stained glass windows caught the autumn light. Students crossed the central courtyard in coats that probably cost more than my first semester's rent. I stood beneath the bronze statue of Rosebridge's founder with 2 suitcases, 1 portfolio case, and a campus map I had accidentally printed upside down. If you stare at her long enough, she still won't tell you where the dormitories are. The woman beside me had copper-red hair, green eyes, and an old film camera hanging against a leather jacket covered in hand-painted flowers. She took the map from my hand, rotated it, and gave it back. "Maya Tours," she said. "Film department, professional rescuer of beautiful strangers, and your assigned student guide. Aria Bennett, illustration department, scholarship transfer, and apparently your easiest rescue of the year. Do not underestimate yourself. You're standing in the restricted courtyard." I looked around. There was no sign. Maya pointed to the enormous gold sign directly behind me. Before I could defend myself, the courtyard changed. Conversations lowered. Students stepped aside. A group descended the library stairs with the effortless formation of people accustomed to being watched. At their center was Vivienne Vale. I had seen photographs. Everyone accepted to Rosebridge received a welcome message bearing her signature. None of that prepared me for the force of her in person. Long black hair fell over one shoulder of her fitted charcoal coat. Her silver-gray eyes moved across the courtyard with calm, ruthless attention. A silver rose pin marked her as student body president, although she wore authority like something she had possessed before titles. To her right walked Bianca Sterling, all silver lavender hair, icy blue eyes, and polished elegance. To her left was Zara Quinn, the football captain, tall and athletic with a burgundy ponytail and an expression suggesting she found the entire procession ridiculous. Vivienne's gaze stopped on me. "Miss Bennett," she said. Maya's head turned so quickly her camera struck her jacket. "You have been here 6 minutes. Why does the Ice Queen know your name?" "I was hoping you would tell me." Vivienne approached. Up close, her composure was even more intimidating. She looked at the portfolio case in my hand and then at the restricted sign behind me. "Orientation is in Bellwether Hall." "I know," one eyebrow lifted. "I know now," I corrected. Zara disguised a laugh as a cough. Bianca did not bother disguising her disapproval. "Scholarship students normally read instructions carefully," Bianca said. The word scholarship landed exactly as she intended. Around us, several students became interested in listening. I smiled at her. "Then it is fortunate the university admitted an illustrator instead of a sign reader." Maya made a choking sound. Bianca's eyes narrowed, but Vivienne's mouth shifted by the smallest fraction. Not a smile, the memory of one. "Maya will take you to orientation," Vivienne said. "Afterward, bring your portfolio to the council chamber." "Why?" "Because I requested it." She walked away before I could decide whether that counted as an answer. Maya stared after her. "Vivienne Vale does not request people. She summons them, terrifies them, and occasionally ruins their political careers." Comforting. "Aria, what did you submit with your application?" "The usual work, portraits, visual stories, a mural proposal." Maya stopped walking. "The Rosebridge Centenary mural? I didn't know it was important." "It is going on the east wall for the 100th anniversary. Bianca has spent 6 months trying to give the commission to one of her friends." Maya looked toward the library stairs, and apparently Vivienne has other ideas. By noon, half the campus knew the Ice Queen had called me by name. By 2, someone had posted a photograph of our conversation with the caption, "New scholarship girl receives private invitation on first day." By 4, Bianca Sterling was waiting outside the council chamber when I arrived. "You should understand something before you go inside," she said. "Rosebridge enjoys novelty, pink hair, pretty eyes, a moving scholarship essay, but novelty fades." I tightened my grip on the portfolio. "Is this how you welcome everyone?" "Only people who mistake attention for belonging." The chamber door opened behind her. Vivienne stood there. "Is there a reason you are delaying my meeting, Bianca?" For the first time, Bianca looked uncertain. "I was explaining the mural process. Were you?" Silence sharpened between them. Bianca stepped away. "Of course, President Vale." Vivienne let me enter and close the door. The council chamber was warmer than I expected, lined with dark bookshelves and portraits of former presidents who all appeared mildly offended by modern life. My mural proposal lay open on the long table. "You read it," I said, 3 times. "That explains my name. Did you imagine I memorized every application? You seem like someone who might." This time I saw the almost smile clearly. Vivienne turned the pages. My proposal showed generations of Rosebridge women passing a light from one pair of hands to another. Students with different bodies, skin colors, clothing, and histories filled the wall. It was nothing like the formal portraits surrounding us. "Bianca says it ignores tradition," Vivienne said. "Tradition is in every stone of this building. I thought the people might deserve some space." Her gaze lifted to mine. "That sentence is why you are here." I should have felt victorious. Instead, I noticed how tired she looked beneath the perfection. A faint shadow rested beneath her eyes. Her fingers remained curled against the table as if relaxing them would reveal too much. "Why are you really choosing my design?" I asked. "I have not chosen it. You defended it before I arrived. I defended the process, and you knew my name." Vivienne closed the portfolio. "You ask dangerous questions for someone on her first day. You give incomplete answers for someone who requested a meeting." For one electric second, neither of us moved. Then the chamber door opened and Noel Park hurried inside carrying a stack of forms taller than her dark teal bob. "I'm sorry," she said. "Bianca told me the room was empty." Vivienne's expression cooled. Bianca was mistaken. Noel noticed me and brightened. "You're Aria. I'm in the residence room across from yours. Maya has already informed our entire floor that you insulted Bianca and survived." "I did not insult her. That version is less popular." Vivienne assigned Noel to help me access the east wall that evening. When I left, Maya was waiting on the stairs with 2 coffees and 12 questions. I answered only 3. At 8, Noel and I carried my sample paints into Rosebridge Hall. The building had been closed for renovation, but the east wall stood beneath a glass ceiling 3 stories high. Thunder rolled outside. Rain began striking the windows. "We should finish quickly," Noel said. "The old locks react badly to storms. Locks react to weather." Rosebridge has money for chandeliers, not useful repairs. She left to collect protective sheets. I opened a jar of rose-colored paint and began testing it against the stone. The lights failed 5 minutes later. A door slammed somewhere behind me. I turned, caught my heel on the portfolio case, and sent the open paint jar across the floor. Pink spread over my sketches and splashed the skirt of my pale dress. "Perfect," I whispered. "That is not the word I would use." Vivienne's voice emerged from the darkness. Lightning illuminated her near the entrance. She had removed her coat and rolled the sleeves of her black blouse to her elbows. Without the formal layers, she looked younger and somehow more dangerous. "Did you follow me?" I asked. "Noel reported the power failure. So you came personally." "The security team is checking the main doors." She tried the handle behind her. It did not move. "And it appears the lock has failed. Does the student body president normally rescue trapped artists?" "Only the ones holding the future of my east wall." We used our phones for light. The rain intensified, loud against the glass ceiling. Vivienne helped me lift the stained sketches before the paint reached them. When our fingers touched, she withdrew so quickly I wondered which of us she did not trust. "You dislike being touched," I said. "I dislike surprises. That sounds exhausting. It is efficient. Those are not opposites." Her eyes found mine in the blue phone light. "You notice too much. Occupational hazard." A violent crack sounded above us. Water burst through a damaged seam in the glass roof, pouring directly over the table. We dragged the portfolio away, but not before freezing rain soaked both of us. Vivienne swore under her breath. I laughed. She stared at me, black hair dripping, blouse clinging to her shoulders. "What is funny? The most controlled woman at Rosebridge just lost an argument with a ceiling. You are covered in paint. And yet I'm winning." The sound she made was soft and astonished. Vivienne Vale laughed. It changed her entire face. The emergency lights came on. A security message informed us the flooded corridor would remain sealed until maintenance arrived in the morning. Rosebridge Hall contained an old presidential suite used during ceremonies. It had heat, towels, and one bed. Vivienne found a robe in the wardrobe and placed it beside me. "Take off your dress," she said. I looked at her. Color touched her cheeks. "It is wet and covered in paint. I meant you should change." "Of course you did." She turned her back while I stepped behind the folding screen. The robe reached my knees. When I emerged, Vivienne had changed into a white ceremonial shirt and dark lounge trousers. Her damp hair fell loose to her waist. The suite suddenly seemed smaller. "You take the bed," she said. "I'll use the chair." That chair was built during a period when comfort was considered immoral. "I will survive." Thunder shook the windows. The lamp flickered. I climbed beneath the heavy blanket and moved to one side. "Vivienne." She looked at the empty space beside me. "It is a large bed." "That is not a sensible idea." "Then why are you still looking at it?" She approached slowly, giving me time to change my mind. The mattress dipped when she lay down above the blanket, leaving careful distance between us. For several minutes, we listened to the storm. "Why did you read my proposal 3 times?" I asked. "Because everyone else painted Rosebridge as it already is." "And I did. You painted what it might become." I turned toward her. She was already facing me. "That is still not the whole answer." Vivienne's gaze dropped briefly to my mouth. "No." The distance between us became a living thing. She lifted one hand, stopping before her fingers touched my wet hair. "May I?" I nodded. Vivienne brushed a rose-pink strand away from my cheek. Her fingertips lingered against my skin. "Aria," she whispered, and my name sounded nothing like it had in the courtyard. "Tell me the whole answer." She moved closer until her breath warmed my lips. "Not unless you are certain you want it." I curled my fingers into the front of her white shirt. "I'm still here," I said.